there, nation, and welcome to the show where we help you to play miniatures wargaming on a budget. It is I, Commander Cheapskate, and welcome to Way of the Underhive, your ultimate guide to Games Workshop's gritty and immersive skirmish game, Necromunda. Whether you're brand new to the dark depths of Hive Primus or a veteran looking to sharpen your skills, this series is your go-to resource for mastering all aspects of the gang. From gang warfare to campaign strategies, we've got you covered. And on today's episode, we're going to take a look at playing an all-Ratling Venator gang for your campaigns of Necromunda. This is actually based on the new update Bone Dry and Broke, which came out through the Necromunda Apocryphos events on Warhammer community webpage, and they actually updated the Venator rules so that way you can include all different types of species inside of your Venator gangs. So instead of just having humans now, you can have Ratlings, you can have Squats, you can have Beastmen, as well as Ogrins. So this one's going to be an all-Ratling Venator gang. We're going to talk about exactly how this gang is made. I will provide you a 1,000 credit starting roster that you could use in your campaigns of the Underhives, or like a 1,400 credit rosters for those playing in the Ash Waste as well as the Underhells. I also got a 2,400 credit roster as well for those you want to play in the Aranthian succession. I'll also provide you information on the alliances that you should take for this gang as well. And because this video will be a little bit of a deeper dive, I will put timestamps in the description box down below so that we can click and navigate to the part of the video that interests you the most. So that being said, let's talk about playing Ratlings in the games of Necromunda. So up first, let's talk about the playstyle of this gang. This gang is going to be a very shooting heavy gang, and the reason why is because you're relying upon long distance engagements and stealth to defeat your enemies. The reason why that's the case is because unfortunately Ratlings are not very strong or very tough. They only have strength 2 and toughness 2 as well, so not very good at close combat, and they're not very resilient either. So taking your opponents out at distance is going to be playing to your advantage, whereas, you know, if you get engaged in close combat or in close quarters battle, you're pretty much going to get slaughtered. Another thing to notice about this gang too is that this gang is also very heavy in terms of weapons, war gear, as well as weapon accessories. We're spamming a lot of different weapon accessories in this list in order to make your fighters even deadlier, because you got to rely upon the weapons and equipment to make your guys' gangs competitive because of how physically weak they actually are. So let's go and start off with your very first gang, which is your Ratling Venator gang. This is the starting rosters for those who want to play in the Underhive, in the Ash Waste, or in the Underhells campaign. I got a 1,000 credit list for you to use for all three campaign types. I've also added a little addition for 400 credits for vehicles in case you want to go out to the Ash Waste, or if you want to go to the Underhells as well. So first of all, let's talk about what kind of skills you're going to be using for this 1,000 point gang. So whenever you create a Venator gang, you have to pick 4 skills, and you rank them in order of 1, 2, 3, and 4. And depending on your fighters, depending on what their primary and what their secondary skills are. For your leaders, your primary skills are skills number 1, 2, as well as leadership, with skill number 3 and 4 being your secondaries. For champions, you have skills 1, 2, and 3 being your primaries, with leadership as well as skill number 4 being your secondary. And then for your regular hunters, skills 1 and 2 are your primaries, while skills 3 and 4 are your secondaries. For this particular gang, skill number 1 is going to be shooting, because like I said before, shooting is going to be very important for your gang, as well as savant, because savant is about generating income for your gang, as well as also maintaining your weapons and healing your fighters, which is going to be very important for a Ratling gang. Skill number 3 is going to be cunning, so that way your champions have access to that skill tree. And then of course skill number 4 is going to be agility, so that way you can move quickly across the battlefield. Now your leader for this gang is going to be named Solid Snake Fastbuck. He's going to be your Ratling Hunt leader. He's going to cost you 135 credits. He's going to be armed with a mesh armor as well as a long last. The reason why is because that's a wonderful long range shooting attack at strength 4. We can also upgrade it later on with focusing crystals to give it a better armor penetration. He's also got a stub gun for a backup weapon. He has the sniping skill, which means that as long as he's aiming, he can reroll a hit of 1 if he rolls a natural 1. He's also got sneaking ability as well that gives him additional cover behind cover, give him additional -1 to hit against when he's hiding behind cover. And he's also got the slopping skill, which means you have a 1 to 6 chance of bringing a fighter out of recovery. And we're giving this character the fixer skill. And the reason why that's the case, because traditionally speaking, squads of Ratlings are led by guys known as fixers, and that's exactly what this guy's going to do. Plus, you can also get D3 times 10 credits for your gang every single time he participates in a battle and survives. And who doesn't love extra money? After that, you have 2 champions. One, his name is Killian Wit Kindness is his name, because we're using the word killing with kindness because I'm a nerd. He's a Ratling Hunt champion. He's going to cost you 260 credits. This guy's got mesh armor for fire armor save. We're also giving this guy a last cannon, so that's going to be the heavy weapon on this one. Beautiful strength 10 attack, multiple damage. We're giving this thing an infrasight as well, so that way your opponents can't benefit from partial cover. You can shoot in all visibility conditions. And his character is also packing the sniping special rule, sneaking special rule, slopping special rule, and we're giving this guy the Overwatch skill from the cunning skill tree, so that way you can interrupt enemy activations by firing a last cannon at them, because nothing says I hate you more than a last cannon shot to the face. After that, we have our second champion, Noggin Longchalk. He's another Ratling Hunt champion, so it costs 195 credits. This character's also got mesh armor, and we're giving this character a grav gun, because grav guns are amazing, and the reason why is because they not only do they provide aerial denial with a 3-inch blast template attack, but they could also cause some damage to your enemy vehicles by making them take handling tests. So we include this weapon in this gang because of all the benefits it provides. He's packing a stub gun for a backup weapon, as well as sniping, sneaking, slopping special rules, and we're giving this character the fast shot ability so that way he can fire that grav gun twice, because that thing is amazing. So now that we're done with your champions, let's move on to your regular hunters. We have Task Dimmock as well as Captain Price. They're both Ratling hunters who cost exactly the same at 80 credits apiece. Both of them will have mesh armor for fire armor save. Both of them have last guns with hot shot last pack, so that we have strength 4, -1 AP shooting attacks. Now granted, you do up your ammo roll to a 4 up, but still, that's pretty good all things considered. We're also giving these guys stub guns with dum-dum rounds. Now the reason why we're giving them that shooting attack is because in case they get charged at in close combat. Like I said, Ratlings have strength 2, so not really that great in close combat, so by giving them a stub gun with dum-dum rounds, we're giving them a strength 4 a close combat attack using the sidearm trait in case they manage to get attacked, and that's why we're packing that. These guys also have the sniping special rule, sneaking special rule, as well as the slopping special rule. Up next is another Ratling hunter named Silent Sloan Havelock. He's going to cost 100 credits. This guy's got mesh armor as well as a last gun with a hot shot last pack, but we're also equipping his weapon with a gun shroud, so that way he can be stealthy and silent when using this hot shot last gun. So in case you got to do a mission that requires stealth, this is one of the fighters you want to have. He's got a stub gun with dum-dum rounds for a backup weapon. He's also got the sneaking, sniping, as well as the slopping special rules too. And then we have Riffer Guzzlewit, who is another Ratling hunter. He's going to cost 100 credits as well, and he's equipped exactly the same as Silent Sloan Havelock, so that way we have 2 Ratlings who have suppressed weapons, so that way if you got to do some kind of stealth mission, you could do so by firing that wonderful strength 4 shooting attack and do it silently. And the last member of your game, of course, is going to be a rogue doc. His name is Doc Rudy Medowin. He's going to cost you 50 credits. He's got a last pistol Medicaid kit, as well as a Medicaid skill, as well as a patch-up special rule. So that way, if any of your fighters take a critical injury, this guy can take care of him as well. Now, for those of you guys who want to go out to the Ash Waste, or if you want to participate in the Underhells campaign, you get 400 credits to spend on vehicles. Now, in the Ash Waste, you get 400 credits automatically, but in the Underhells campaign, if you can only get that 400 credits if you become a Malstrain Allegiance. So if you decide to choose Malstrain Allegiance, this is the vehicle I recommend for you guys for 400 credits. It's called the Merrily Go Bang. It is a scum racer, so it costs you 400 credits. This character is driving a custom rig. It's got track locomotion to deal with difficult terrain. It's also got a transport cage to protect your fighters. It's got a redundant drive system to protect its drive system from the first non-glancing hit you take. It's also got a nitro burner to bring it back up to its normal speed, so that way you don't lose that 1 inch of movement due to the track locomotion. And we're giving this thing a mining laser, because blast cannons are amazing, but so are mining lasers, and having high strength shooting attacks is going to be great for taking out enemy vehicles or enemy high value targets as well. Now, for those of you who are going to the Underhells campaign, but you want to be an Archaeotech Hunter Allegiance instead, you get access to an Abyssal Ferryman tee for free. And the one I'm going to go with, it comes from the Survivor Enclave, and we're taking the Dramatis Personae Abyssal Ferryman team to help you out, led by Madrick Hellbane. He's that special character who will be taken as a Survivor Enclave Ferryman team. Survivor Enclaves are great, and the reason why is because if you suffer a critical injury, they act like road docs, and they can actually patch up your fighter. Not to mention, Madrick Hellbane as well as Legrand have special rules, which allows them to stay longer in an Underhells campaign, even past point, they'll pass no return, you have a 50-50 chance of them sticking around. Not to mention, these guys are really good at close combat as well, which you desperately need in this gang. So Madrick Hellbane's going to be your ferryman skipper. He's got mesh armor for fire armor save. He's got that beautiful Archaeotech pistol with that high strength shooting attack, as well as using in close combat. He's got a respirator to deal with gas attacks as well as environmental effects. He's also got the dodge, evade, step aside, as well as the trick shot skills. So this guy is going to be absolutely deadly. We also have the special character Legrun, which is the Ogren Ferryman Rig Hand. He's got light carapace armor for 4 armor save. He's got hook, line, and sinker, which is a paired melee attack with versatile traits attached to it, so he's going to be an absolute wrecking ball. He's got respirator to protect himself from environmental effects as well as gas attacks. He's also got crushing blow to increase the strength of one of his attacks, as well as the unstoppable skill as well, so that way he doesn't worry about flesh wounds too bad. And then we have the Knight Rider, who's going to be your ferryman steersman. He's going to have a stub gun as well as the expert driver skill, and he's driving a custom rig with track locomotion. It's got a crash cage, escape hatch, patches, transport cage, redundant drive system, tire claws, engine shell, nitro burner, smoke vents, headlights, as well as a searchlight. So there's no weapon on this vehicle, and the reason why is because we decided to equip this thing with everything to protect it from being harmed when it's down the Underhells. So things like escape hatches and crash cages to protect your passengers as well as your fighters, the transport cage in order to protect your passengers as you go across the wasteland, redundant drive systems in order to protect your drive system from the first non-glancing hit it takes, a tire claws in order to increase your handling by 1, same thing with the engine shell to protect your engine drive from being attacked from the first non-glancing hit. It's got a nitro burner to bring you back up to the original speed of the vehicle, because you had to lose 1 inch for going with a tracked vehicle. And of course, smoke vents, so that way your opponent's going to -1 hit against your vehicle. And we also have headlights and searchlights, so that way you can peer into the darkness of the Underhells. And that's going to be my list that I recommend for not just your Underhells campaign, but also for Ash Wastes, as well as for the Underhells campaign. Alright, up next is our Ratling Venator gang starting roster for the Aranthian Succession. So this will be worth 2,400 credits. We just basically took the 1,000 credits that we had earlier, and we just basically expanded upon it, and also re-equipping them with some better materials, and also adding some additional fighters. So let's go and talk about exactly what will consist of your 2,400 credit starting roster for the Aranthian Succession. Once again, skill number 1 is going to be shooting, followed by skill number 2, which is savant. Skill 3 will be cunning, and skill 4 will be agility. Once again, your leader is still Solid Snake Fastbook, who is your Ratling Hunt leader for 210 credits this time. He's got mesh armor as well as a long last with a focusing crystal and an infrasight, so that way he can see in all visibility conditions, at the same time take away partial cover. He's also got a stub gun with dum-dum rounds, because you'll need that for close combat. He's got sniping, sneaking, slopping special rules, as well as still has the fixer skill to get D3 times 10 credits after every game. And once again, we still have our 2 champions, Killian with Kindness, who's a running champion this time, 330 credits is his price tag. He's got mesh armor as well as a last cannon with an infrasight, but we're also giving him a suspensor on that one so that we can fire it as a basic action. He's got a stub gun with dum-dum rounds for close combat as well as a backup shooting weapon. He's got sniping, sneaking, as well as slopping, and still has the Overwatch skill. Nogging Longchalk, the Ratling Hunt champion, is still in this gang. This time he costs 230 credits. He still has mesh armor as well as his grab gun, but he's got a stub gun with a dum-dum round this time, as well as photo goggles so that we can see in all visibility conditions. He still has sniping, sneaking, and slopping, and he still has the fast shot skill. And because we're playing the Aranthian Succession, we can have up to 4 champions in this gang. So our next champion is Lotfast Dodger Croup. He is a Ratling Hunt champion. This costs you 235 credits. He's got mesh armor as well as a web gun, because web guns are absolutely fantastic. Strength 5, ignoring armor, also silent. Plus, these guys are bounty hunters, so you want to capture your prey. He's got a stub gun with dum-dum rounds for backup weapon, as well as photo goggles, seeing all visibility conditions. He's got the sniping, sneaking, and slopping special rules, and he's got infiltrate because he's going to be coming in at an exposed enemy flank, possibly the rear, so that way you can engage your enemies and their weak spots. And he's going to be accompanied by your second champion. His name is Ripper Codgerman. He is a Ratling Hunt champion. It costs 190 credits. He's got mesh armor as well as a last carbine with a gun shroud, so that way his rapid fire last gun has a silence trait attached to it. He's packing a power knife because it is a power weapon. He's also got backstab as well. He's also packing a stub gun with dum-dum rounds for close combat attacks and backup shooting. And he's also got photo goggles to see all visibility conditions, and he's also packing photon flash grenades. So that way when you lob those grenades and catch your enemy in the blast radius of that, if they fail their initiative test, they lose their activations, which is great because then Lotfast Dodger Croup can then move in and web them after he does that. He's also got the sniping, sneaking, slopping, as well as the infiltrate special skill, so that way you can also deploy behind enemy lines as well. Now let's go to your regular hunters now. The first one is Bomber Ross Jacksweet. He's a new recruit for this gang. He's your Ratling Hunter Specialist. It costs 145 credits. He's got mesh armor, and he's also packing a grenade launcher with frag and crack grenades because grenade launchers are amazing. He's also packing a stub gun with dum-dum rounds for a backup weapon as well as for close combat. Photo goggles see all visibility conditions. He's also got the sniping, sneaking, slopping special rules as well as the specialist upgrades. So that way he can equip the special weapon and also choose and spend his own experience points. After that, we have Task Dimmock. She makes a return. She's another one of your Ratling Hunters at 120 credits. She still has mesh armor with a last gun with a hotshot last pack, but now we're upgrading it with an infrasight so that way she can see in all visibility conditions and remove partial cover. She's also got a stub gun with dum-dum rounds for backup weapon as well as sniping, sneaking, as well as slopping. And Captain Price also returns, also costing 120 credits. He's also equipped exactly the same way as Task Dimmock with the exact same kit and loadout. We also have Riffer Guzzlewood, who's a new addition to this gang as well. He's a Ratling Hunter with 180 credits. He's got mesh armor as well as a hotshot last gun with a hotshot last pack. And he's also got a gun shroud on the weapon, so that way it's silent. And he's also got an infrasight, so that way we can see in all visibility conditions as well. He's packing a stub gun with dum-dum rounds. We're also equipping them with a grapnel launcher this time, so that we can move 12 inches in any direction. Photon flash grenades to remove enemy enemy activations, as well as sniping, sneaking, as well as slopping. The reason why we equip this guy this way is so in case you run into stealth missions, you can move in with the suppressed last gun to take out opponents. You could also lob photon flash grenades to take away enemy activations. And our very last hunter, Silent Sloan Havelock, is going to be another Ratling Hunter, also costs 180 credits and equipped exactly the same way as Riffer Guzzlewit, and he's also your stealth operative for this gang as well. And then lastly, we're spending 50 credits to recruit a Rogue Doc, Rudy Medawin. Once again, he's got Last Pistol as well as Medicaid Kit, Medicaid Skill, as well as Patch Up, because being able to do medical escort missions for your fighters if they take a critical injury is vastly important for the survivability of your gang. And because the Aranthian session gives you the option to take vehicles, for our 400 credits, we're going to once again recruit the Merrily Go Bang, which is a scum racer who costs 400 credits. Once again, still driving the custom rig with track locomotion, a car transport cage, redundant drive system, nitro burners, as well as the mining laser. It's the exact same vehicle that we had from the beginning with the Ash Waste lists. And that's going to make up your Aranthian Succession roster. So that being said, let's go ahead and talk about exactly what you'll have for your alliances. So if you end up taking alliances in your campaign, I highly suggest that you take an alliance with the Merchant Guild, specifically the Water Guild. The Water Guild actually provides a lot of buffs that fit perfectly in the narrative of what a Venator gang does, because they allow you to capture people more easily on the battlefield, and at the same time provides us some much needed close combat support for this gang, because as Ratlings, you're really horrible at close combat, so having this alliance can really help you out with that. So your Nautican Siphoning delegation is going to be led by Og Mendazar, which is a Master Nautican. He's a guild procurator. He's got mesh armor for a 5 armor save, as well as needle pistol and stiletto knife, so he's got good toxin attacks. He's also got a bio booster, stim slug stash. He's also got the step aside skill, as well as the overseer skill. Now, primarily this guy's going to be mainly using his weapons to defend himself against being countercharged in most cases, because what he's really going to be doing is spamming his overseer ability on your Subnauticon. You also have Cariel Du Laral, who's going to be your Siphonite for this alliance. She's going to be your guild factotum. She's packing mesh armor for 5 armor save, as well as a needle rifle for a great silent toxin shooting attack. Also got a stiletto knife for close combat. Also packing a cult icon for larger group activations, as well as a dodge skill to give you a 6 up ward save against all attacks. And then we have Temperance Vandestier, who's going to be your Subnauticon, the true killer in this delegation. He's going to be your bodyguard. He's got hazard suit with armored undersuit to give him a 5 armor save, which also makes him immune from blaze, phage, as well as gas attacks. He's also got his open fists, and basically just be exploiting his strength 5 that he has, as well as the berserker skill, so that way if every single time he charges, he gets an additional attack on top of that. This guy is basically a Ogren and a dive suit that's going to run around and just punch people in the face and destroy them. My recommendation is to spam Og Mendazar's Overseer's ability on Temperance Vandestier, so that way he activates twice all the time and can just absolutely wreck your opponents in close combat. And as part of the alliance, you also get access to a slopper. That's going to be Fatty Bogan. He's going to be a slopper who's got a fighting knife, as well as the Grubs Up special rule, which is great because it's also going to work in coexistence with the rest of the sloppers in your gang, because everybody has the slopper special rule, which means that your fighters, if they're in recovery on a 5 up, which you have a 1/3 chance of rolling, they'll leave recovery and be able to join the fight, which is going to be absolutely amazing for you. At the same time, you also have the Water Harvest special ability as well, which is going to allow you to actually have a benefit in capturing people on the battlefield, so that way you can capture those opponents and make money for yourself as a Venator gang. You also got the Pure Water Supply supply special rule, which gives you the free slopper. You do have some drawbacks, such as guard duty and water levies, but those are actually quite minimal compared to other alliances that exist out there. So there you guys have it. This is my take on the Ratling Venator gang that you can use in your campaigns of Necromunda using the newly updated rules for Venators. Like I said before, the Venators are the most versatile gang in Necromunda. There's a lot of really cool things that you can make with this gang. Highly customizable, extremely diverse in the model choices you can pick. And the best thing about it is potentially it could be the cheapest game that you could actually use for your games in Necromunda, because after all, you could just proxy some miniatures that you already have in your collection and use them as Venators. Or you could 3D print your own, or kit bash, or convert, or do whatever you want in order to create your Venator gangs. I really like the idea of how diverse the Venator gangs are, because you can pretty much put anything together and you can fill it on the tabletop and save yourself a bunch of money at the same time. And of course, if you end up using this list, please let me know in the comments box down below. I'd love to see how this list works out for you guys. If you guys have any suggestions for some other gang lists you'd like to see, please leave a comment in the boxes down below, so that way if I think your idea is cool, I'll make a video about it. So that's good for you guys. As always, please feel free to like, comment, and or subscribe. Your guys' input is invaluable to us as always. Also check us out on Facebook, Instagram, as well as blog.com for all this greatest hobby news related to this channel. I'm Commander Cheapskate. This has been real. I'll catch you guys next one. Peace out and stay classy.